Amendment 92.
Does the gentleman offer the amendment?
Yes.
The clerk will please designate the amendment.
Part A, Amendment Number 5, printed in House Report Number 111-209, offered by Mr. Costa of California.
Pursuant to House Resolution 645, the gentleman from California, Mr. Costa, and a member opposed, each will control 5 minutes. The chair recognizes the gentleman from California.
Yes, I'd like to refer to the gentleman from Arizona, the chairman of the subcommittee, to speak on behalf of the amendment.
I would just like to inform the gentleman that we are supportive of his amendment.
I want to thank the subcommittee chair and those members who have worked very hard on our behalf. This amendment, along with the next amendment offered by my colleague and friend, Congressman Costa, are taken, I think, as should be taken as two amendments, because they're both part of an overall effort that many of us from the Valley delegation have been working on for over the last year in a bipartisan basis to deal with the third year of the drought in California, which unfortunately could last a fourth and a fifth year. Water in California has traditionally not been a partisan issue. My colleagues, both Congressmen Rodanovich, Nunes, McCarthy, and Cardoza and I have worked together on many of these issues. I hope that that tradition will continue. The drought has been devastating. These two pictures reflect ground zero, which is in my district, in which we have farm communities that have 30 to 40% unemployment. Food lines in Mendota that I have helped provide food for those farm workers who are some of the hardest working people you ever meet in your life. The picture next to that shows fallowed fields, over 300,000 acres this year, in which family farmers in second and third generation are in fear and frustration of losing their farms. These two amendments taken together are important. Congressman Cardoza deserves a great deal of credit and effort for working very hard. These two amendments are not a silver bullet, but they're part of an overall effort to provide incremental additional water to our valley. Amendment 93 provides $10 million for drought relief to the San Joaquin Valley to fund two important projects that we have identified on our list of things to do. The two-gate project that we have strong support throughout the state on, that if implemented this November, we believe could act as real relief to allow the federal and state operating federal projects and the pumps to operate as they were intended to. The pumps have operated intermittently and sometimes have been shut down this year. Today, thank God, they are operating at near full capacity. But that will not continue next year if a biological opinion is implemented that I think is flawed, as is my colleague. The Two Gates Project and the Delta Mendota Canal Aqueduct intertype funding will provide in this amendment money for the Secretary of Interior within the Central Valley Project to be used to implement both the Two Gate and the intertype project. In addition to that, this amendment provides a resolution to the giant garter snake issue, which has long been an impediment to water transfers. It gives the Bureau of Reclamation flexibility needed to facilitate water transfers throughout counties in the Central Valley Project area. Lastly, I want to commend my colleague and thank Congressman Cardoza, my colleague, for his hard work on this issue. As a result of our efforts beginning in January, working with the Westlands Water Agency, with the San Luis Unit, and others, we have provided together with the state of California and the Bureau of Reclamation over 560,000 acre-feet of water to the west side that otherwise would not be there in these drought conditions, on top of, sadly, what has been a 10% allocation of water. Together, that has provided nearly 700,000 acre-feet to the very dry west side. I want to thank all of those who have been a part of it, Leadership Steny Hoyer, the Secretary of Interior, who visited at our request last month to the Valley, Secretary Salazar and his Deputy Secretary Hayes and Commissioner Connor, all who have been designated as a part of a drought task force team with Secretary Vilsack, the Secretary of Agriculture, because God forbid this drought could last a fourth or a fifth year in which all of California would be rationing water. Today, my district is ground zero along with Congressman Cardoza's district, but next year it could be far worse. So we will continue to work with Chairman Obey and other members of the Appropriations Committee. I want to know that the San Luis Delta Water Authority supports these amendments along with the Friant Water Authority and most of the water agencies in California because they understand that this amendment, along with the next amendment, is part of that incremental effort to bring water to a drought-stricken area in California that could be next year the rest of the state. I reserve the balance of my time.
The gentleman reserves the balance of his time. Who rises in opposition?